What's up, everybody? Joe White here. Oh, man, riding through Pennsylvania today. Why'd I say it like that? It's Pennsylvania, not Pennsylvania. Anyway, riding through Pennsylvania today, heading down south to Georgia. Gonna stop by the house tonight, spend the night with the family, and then head down to Georgia tomorrow for my delivery on Thursday. We need to talk a little bit about Dave Meltzer and his justification for AEW's fuck ups, whether it be their production fuck ups, whether it be their booking fuck ups. I have an example of both here for you. First, so I'll let Dave explain this one, and then I'll come back and we'll discuss his reaction to it.
Did a thing on the show. It was not so. It's weird because it's like I got a bunch of messages, and I hadn't watched the show yet, and then I watched the show and it's right there, and it's like, oh my god, what? But it seemed like nobody knew. They did a thing where they were plugging, the upcoming shows, and they plugged November 19th, which is the Boston show, except they said Reading, Pennsylvania, and it's like right there. November 19th, Reading. Tony Schiavone reads it, November 19th, Reading, and it's like, no, that's Boston. And it is Boston, by the way. What happened, I don't know how this happened, but nobody caught it. And they didn't go back, and nobody knew. I mean, that's the thing. Nobody knew that they did it because they could have just gone, oh, by the way, November 19th is Boston. The reason they didn't do that is because they didn't know they did it. And apparently what happened, and I don't know how this happens, last year on this week, on that week, November, and it probably was November 20th, not 19th, but that was Reading, Pennsylvania. So somehow last year's show got in there, but,
Probably
whatever.
Somebody on production was doing the upcoming lineups, and they went to Google and typed in November 19th Dynamite, and last year's show came up, and they just typed it on the screen.
They should have just gone to the Ring of Honor website and looked at the schedule.
Should I go and see if it's easy to find?
It's easy to find. Yes, I looked. The minute I saw that, that was actually what I thought. It's like, okay, how easy is this to find? So I went to the website, and it's right there, November 19th, Boston. But yeah, I had a couple of friends from Boston who were, are we getting a show? And I said, let me check. And it was like, yes, you're getting a show. It was, I have no idea why this happened. But it happened.
So there's his, they announced last year's show. How does that happen? How do you do that? Like, there's no excuse for that. Except for somebody got the notes wrong. And Dave just smiles. If you notice, he has that shit-eating fucking California grin on his face. Like, oh, it don't matter. It's okay. They have a show in Boston, and they'll correct it. No, and fucking Brian is sitting there going, how does that happen? I could go on Google right now and look at, or go on their website right now and look this up. And of course, Dave, I don't know. How does this happen? Again, it all goes downhill. They didn't correct it. It all goes downhill. Tony Khan should have been like, no, we're not going to Reading. We're going to Boston. Reading was last year. And then you find out who the fuck gave them that information, and you either chastise them to oblivion or you fire them, or both. There's no excuse. This is like WCW level bullshit. And Dave just gives him a pass. Oh, it's okay. We don't know how this happens. Then they're doing this thing where Harley Cameron's getting ready to get a Ring of Honor World Title match. I think it's a Ring of Honor World Title match. And she's getting ready to get one of the goddamn 15 titles they have in the company. Okay? One of the fucking 20 titles they have in the company. Harley Cameron is getting ready to get a shot at one of them. Therefore, she should not lose. And what happens? They're doing the blood and guts advantage match, and she loses the second one of the night. They're doing like 2 out of 3. And so, well, I'll let them explain this one. And look at Dave. Look at Dave's face. Dave just sits there and smiles at it. This is funny to him. This whole thing's funny to him.
And we had Harley and Tekla Blood and Guts Advantage Battle Series match. And Tekla won.
Yeah. Well,
what the fuck?
I mean, that's the heels are supposed to win.
Bro, stop. Why is Harley, who just had the biggest win of her career.
I know.
And not only had the biggest win of her career, in a week is getting a shot at the Ring of Honor women's title.
Yeah, why is she losing?
Why is she losing this match?
I do not have a good answer for that. I was very surprised. I actually thought that she had a chance of winning.
I thought for sure she was winning.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's one of the things. With the same reason Bandito lost. They give you the big win and then they take it away.
Yeah, that's why there's no one being elevated. Because they beat you right back into the same spot you were just in.
I know. They need to not beat you for 4 months or 3 months or whatever, for a little while. But, they could have put somebody else in there. Should have put somebody else in there. That was who they put in.
Or just switch it around. Have Harley and Tekla go first. Harley wins. And then you got to do Jamie Hayter and Sky Blue, and Jamie Hayter loses. Jamie Hayter is allowed to lose.
Yeah,
she doesn't have a title match coming up.
Maybe she does. Maybe they're building her for something.
Well, she's certainly not having a title match at this next pay-per-view. We know that.
Not on the pay-per-view, no.
Okay, well, then they got time to build her up again after one loss.
Yeah, well, that was look, they have their slots, and the slot is Jamie Hayter's in a higher slot than Harley Cameron. You can argue that Harley Cameron's got more charisma than Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter's a far
I don't even care about any of that. If she's in a higher spot, that's fine. But Harley just beat Athena. She just eliminated one of the favorites in the tag team tournament.
The whole thing
and she got the pin.
Yeah, I know.
Not even her team won. She got the pin.
No, she shouldn't have lost before her championship match. Absolutely. Although FTR did, but that's just
which I also thought was ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, FTR, there's a logic to that. That's old school booking. But in this case, hey, what? Maybe Harley's going to win and defend against her. I don't think that's happening, by the way. But if that happens, then you could go, hey, that's just old school booking. They did the same thing twice.
Did you notice the slip up there? Did you notice they have their slots, and that's what they do. They have their slots. And apparently this person is above that person. He started to say he. Because heaven forbid, and then he quickly diverts. Because heaven forbid, he should call out the one guy responsible for this bullshit. And it's Tony Khan. And you notice how Brian Alvarez just rolls his eyes at this? He rolls his eyes at Dave's logic. I'm telling you guys, Brian cannot wait for Dave to die. Or retire. He can't wait for that day to come. 55. Golly, guys. Go the speed limit. I'm over here in Pennsylvania, I-81. From Harrisburg all the way down to the Turnpike exit. It is 55 miles an hour. And you got idiot truckers going 70. Not paying attention. Go the speed limit. I fuss at people who don't go the speed limit one way. You got to slow down a little. Golly. Anyway, sorry, that's my trucking rant for today. But yeah, Dave I don't know. I don't know why they do it with the smile on my face, with a little shit-eating grin. Meanwhile, Brian Alvarez is sitting there about ready to pull his fucking hair out over this shit. He calls them out. When Brian does call them out on their bullshit, Dave just laughs it off. Literally laughs it off. This means nothing to him. Because Dave knows his best. Why don't he, Tony Khan. I bet you him and Tony Khan had a phone conversation. And Tony Khan's like, guess what I'm going to do? And Dave's probably like, oh, yeah. They have a little ha-ha-hee-hee party over the phone. That's their version of phone sex, I guess. Guess how I'm going to book this one? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And the sicko fans, they don't care. Yay! We got an alternative. It's okay. Triple H's booking is faltering, but all is well in AEW fucked up land. Yay! Because we're the sickos. Yay! We're neckbeards. We got a place where neckbeards belong. And old fat slag women belong. Yay! Wrestling is for everyone except for people who apply logic. Alvarez is 100% right here. There's no way if you're trying to build somebody up now I don't believe you're losing to fucking whatever and whoever, and now I have no confidence that Harley Cameron, who is actually pretty decent by the way, pretty damn talented, I have no confidence that she's going to win this title. She's lost already to somebody who fucking we rarely see. Alvarez is right. What the fuck is this? And Dave just laughs. I don't know. Well, that's what they do. You don't know. You apparently have the man's phone number who does know. Call him and ask him live on the air. Tony, what are you doing? But Dave won't do that because he wants access. He wants his free pay-per-views. He wants his daggone backstage access. So this is the kind of bullshit that Dave needs to be called out on. It's not funny, Dave. It's all kinds of fucked up. Like Alvarez says, what the fuck are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing? And as a journalist, if somebody who is truly fair and unbiased, you should be able to call the man up on the air and go, hey, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Why are you having XYZ? Oh, and Tony's response to that, I can guarantee you I know what Tony's response is. People just want to see good matches. People just want to see good matches. It's okay. They don't care. You know who used to say that shit, that they don't care? Russo. Vince Russo. As Jim Cornette has put it before, DQ Schmeeq. Nobody is going to care. That's some Russo level shit. When you put you don't apply logic to this. Making no freaking sense whatsoever. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. We'll see you down the road.
Long run, you end up back where you were, just with a lower price. So, anyway.